So yeah, today's episode I will be wearing my pajamas. If you have a problem with that, start your own damn YouTube channel and wear whatever the hell you want. America's a free country. Speaking of America... Okay, just a heads up, today's episode is going to talk about a major plot point in the upcoming Captain America movie. So, if you read the comics, you already know what I'm going to talk about, but if you haven't, and you want to go into the movie cold, you may want to turn this off, because spoilers from here on out. So this weekend, during the big football game, Marvel released the new trailer for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And surprise, it actually featured the titular Winter Soldier pretty heavily throughout it. He's this enigmatic secret soldier who nobody's even really sure exists. Kind of like a Jason Bourne for the bad guys. And we just see him kicking everybody's ass in this trailer. He kicks Cap's ass, Nick Fury's ass, Falcon's ass. It just looks awesome. There's a lot of Marvel movies coming out this year, and from what I've seen, to me at least, this one looks like it's going to be the best. In addition to the trailer, Marvel also released a bunch of promotional stills for the movie. One of those stills being this image. This image is actually a spoiler. Now you may be thinking, well, how is this a spoiler? It's just a picture of the Winter Soldier without his mask. Well, see, the thing is, it is a spoiler because if you saw the first Captain America movie, that face should look awfully familiar. Because it's this guy. Okay, let's back up a minute. Let's go back in time. In 2005, writer Ed Brubaker started his landmark 8-year run on Captain America. At the start of his run, along with artist Steve Epting, he created the character of the Winter Soldier, this mysterious Black Ops-ish character who's doing secret assassinations for the Russians. At the end of the story, it's revealed that the Winter Soldier is actually Captain America's long-lost sidekick, Bucky Barnes. And this plot twist was a big deal when it happened because, aside from a few flashbacks here and there, Bucky Barnes hadn't been in a new story since the early 50s. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby resurrected Captain America in the 60s, they had explained that Bucky Barnes had died during their last mission together in World War II. Although the truth is, Stan Lee didn't want to bring him back because he really f***ing hates teenage sidekicks. He has no problems making teenagers heroes on their own, but the second you stick him with an adult hero for a partner, oh, that's too unrealistic. Anyway, the point is, Bucky Barnes was one of the few comic book characters who, when he died, he stayed dead. It was permanent. Bucky's death was a shadow that hung over Cap in a lot of comics, so like a reminder of his past life and someone he couldn't save. Bringing him back could have been one of the worst things that ever happened to Captain America, but by making him a villain and having it be a big twist in this story, Ed Brubaker was able to add a lot of weight and emotion to it. The result is actually one of the best comics to come out in the last 15 years. It's funny too, because this is also around the same time they brought Jason Todd back from the dead, another character that they said would never come back. And this was actually handled so much better because the result didn't involve Superboy punching the walls of reality. Look it up. Now, Bucky was in the first Captain America movie, played by actor Sebastian Stan. His arc in the movie was pretty much the same as his arc in the comics. He was Cap's young teen sidekick, helped him out through the war, he died, and Captain was all sad about it. As a comic book reader watching the first Captain America movie, myself, and I'm sure a lot of you out there, knew in the back of your mind that it's okay, they'll probably bring Bucky back in another movie as the Winter Soldier. But the thing is, when I saw the first movie, I saw it with people who weren't exactly keeping up on the Captain America, I guess you could say. And to them, that was it. Bucky was dead, as far as they knew. So when they announced that Captain America 2 was going to be subtitled The Winter Soldier, it pretty much confirms whatever your comic book fan already knew. It wasn't a matter of if, it was just a matter of when. And when was kind of a lot sooner than we all thought. But around the same time, they also announced that Sebastian Stan was returning to the movie, not only reprising his role as Bucky, but also playing the Winter Soldier. Now again, to someone like me, this isn't a big deal. I knew this was going to happen. But to someone like my mother, who doesn't read Captain America comics because she thinks they're a waste of time and that I should move out already because I'm 26 years old and why aren't I married yet, and... Sorry, what was I talking about? People who don't follow comic books but follow movie news, they basically just had a big plot twist spoiled for them. All that emotion that was felt when the comics originally came out was basically just washed away in a little blurb on a movie blog. And now releasing pictures of him without his mask off is basically Marvel's way of saying, hey, remember that guy from the first movie who fell off that train? Well, now he's back, but this time with a Bob Wolf haircut and a robotic arm. I feel like I'm the only person who's annoyed by this. I mean, again, I read the story. I knew this was going to happen. But it still bothers me. So I guess my question is, because the plot twist was already published in the comics, does that make it okay to be so open about it? I honestly don't think so. Imagine if a year ago, HBO just came out and said, oh, by the way, this season we're doing the Red Wedding on Game of Thrones. People who don't read A Song of Fire and Ice but watch the show would eventually just look up what a red wedding is and eventually find out that it's when a lot of people die. I guess what I'm trying to get at here is just because comic book fans know doesn't mean everybody has to know. I mean, I already feel bad when I accidentally tell people Gwen Stacy's going to die. I don't want to have to explain this to people as well. Anyway, what do you guys think? Am I overthinking this too much? Did I just ruin the Winter Soldier for you guys, or did you know already? Or did you not care? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter. Can't believe we have an animation. Like if you like, subscribe if you really like, share this video with your friends, but only if they know the plot twist in the Winter Soldier. Actually, f*** it, share it with everybody, even if they don't know. Who cares? Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Now, Spider-Man is interesting because for every good Spider-Man story there is, it's almost immediately followed by a really bad Spider-Man story.
And Peter Parker came over to him and they had a little like conversation or a little confrontation, and then f***ing Dr. Octopus did something stupid and they switched bodies.